Hello, my name is Matthew Harris, and I'm Executive Director of Secondary Education and Instruction here in Fox Chapel Area School District.
I'm John Nauhaus, Principal at Dorseyville Middle School.
And this is Craig Reinhardt. I'm one of the school counselors at Dorseyville Middle School.
We want to take a few moments to talk to you about the DMS schedule development process and show you the schedule that we'll be using for the 1920 school year. The DMS schedule development process has been a collaborative and inclusive one involving parents, administrators, and teachers. Information came from the parent surveys last year to develop common priorities from each group, and we worked with the Hill Group Management Consulting to support the process. DMS teachers then worked and developed the schedules, and administration and parents reviewed those models and tweaked them. The three stakeholder groups reached consensus on one model after that. So far, these are some of the events that have occurred. On September 27th, we met with the Hill Group, the parent group, along with Lisa Lang, David McCommons, and myself, to review the results of the survey and develop a list of priorities. On the 28th, the teachers met with FCEA, and they reviewed and refined their priority list. On October 4th, FCA teachers and administration met to discuss various schedule options and emerged with 3 options to focus on moving forward. On October 5th and through the 25th, there were a series of meetings between administration and teachers to review and refine those scheduling options. Then on November 1st, teachers, administration, and parents met to discuss the top models and reach consensus on the one model to develop further. This timeline shows a lot of the events that I've just mentioned. The second slide here shows some new events coming, including a DMS faculty meeting, which we had this past week, and also a site-based team meeting coming up this week, along with the intention to post a video about this process, this video that you're hearing now, followed by a December 13th PTO meeting where we'll meet with parents face-to-face and review the new model moving forward. January 7th is a proposed time and date to meet with the school board to present the process and the new model.
So during the meetings with administrators and teachers and parents, we reached consensus on the common priorities around which to develop the new schedule models. On this slide, you'll see those priorities. First, a variety of courses maintaining the integrity of the middle school philosophy, offering an appropriate increase in class time for core classes, maintaining safety nets for students, and maintaining strong connections between staff and students. Ultimately, we generated 3 models that fit the priorities in varying degrees. So 3 schedule models were considered. Our first model looked to give math and English language arts a 62-minute block, and then kept other classes at 40 minutes across the schedule. Model 2 looked at 60 minutes for core academic classes and kept a 40-minute period for our rotations and our electives. Model 3 kept class time at 56 minutes for all classes. But ultimately, all these schedule models fit the priorities that we came to consensus on.
As with all things, all of the models had benefits and liabilities. Some of the benefits from Model 1 was the increased time in math to 62 minutes, while it also allowed us to maintain a good amount of time in English language arts at 62 minutes. We were able to maintain the same number of offerings for the Unified Arts program, and it allowed us to serve lunch a little later in the day than the current schedule where students are eating lunch at 10:30. Some of the downside of the first model was a decrease in time in social studies, science, Unified Arts, and foreign language class, as well as creating an imbalance among the core classes, as ELA and math were getting 62 minutes and science and social studies were only getting 40 minutes. The home base time decreases in Model 1 to 30 minutes from the current 40-minute model that we have now. The schedule is also very complicated, and there was a supplemental reading class that will not connect to the core literacy class as well. In Model 2, some of the benefits were equal time for the core classes at 60 minutes each, also having lunch periods a little bit later. We were able to offer electives in grade 8. We were able to maintain the current rotations and offerings in grade 6 and 7, and we're also able to maintain an option for level 1 world language in grade 7. One of the downsides to Model 2 was a decrease in time in Unified Arts of 2 minutes and in Home Base of 6 minutes. For Schedule 3, it was very similar to Schedule 2. There was equal time for core classes in 56 minutes. Again, the lunch periods were later. We were also able to maintain the current rotations and offerings in grades 6 and 7, and there was an increase in time for foreign language and Unified Arts as all class periods were 56 minutes. Some of the downsides to Schedule 3 was that the Unified Arts teachers were unavailable for Home Base, and there was a decrease in time significantly in Home Base as we were dropping down to 26 minutes from 40 minutes.
Following the discussion, analysis, and benefits and liabilities of each schedule model, the teachers far preferred the 60-minute core and 42-minute rotation schedule, which is Schedule 2. Then, during the November 1st stakeholder meeting, parents and administration concurred with the teachers, and this was confirmed as the preferred schedule model.
Here's what the Bell schedule will look like for the preferred schedule model. Here you will see some of the things that I've already identified. In the home base period will basically remain intact at 34 minutes and will occur first thing in the morning, so that it gives the students an opportunity for a check-in. You'll also see that the 4 core areas, literacy, math, science, social studies, all have 60 minutes of instruction each day for all students. You'll also see that the lunch periods are occurring later in the day. Another pro, you do not need to be in advanced literacy to qualify for level 1, nor do you have to take it if you are in advanced literacy, which is currently the model. And we were able to maintain a good amount of time in our Unified Arts and rotation courses, as we only lost 2 minutes and they went to 42 minutes as opposed to 44 minutes, which we currently have.
Here you'll see some sample student schedules for Schedule 2. As you look at these, the yellow box at the top is home base. The white boxes are our core academic periods. The pink boxes are where rotations, Unified Arts, and electives will take place. And finally, the green boxes where student lunches are. So if you look at a sample schedule for a 6th grader, you'll see that they have home base in the morning at 34 minutes, followed by 2 periods of core academics. For this student, it's literacy and math. Period 4 for this student is the rotations. So you see they have band, phys ed, and their world language exploration. After that, they have lunch, and then more Unified Arts after lunch. You have art, tech ed, mobile device, health, and facts. And at the end of the day, they have 2 more periods of core academics. For this student, it's science and social studies. The next schedule is a sample 7th grader schedule. Again, home base we kept in the morning at home base at 34 minutes. This student has their rotations in the Unified Arts classes after home base. So periods 2 and 3, you'll see period 2, Unified Arts, art, tech ed, computer science, health, and facts. And then period 3, you'll see this student's rotation classes, phys ed, band, and target German. Following that, you have 2 periods of core academics, literacy and math, lunch, and then the rest of their core academic classes, science and social studies. And finally, you have an 8th grade schedule on the far right. You'll see that at the top there's odd and even day, because that is how some of the electives will break down. Period 1 is home base, 34 minutes, followed by 2 periods of core academics, literacy and math. This student then has lunch with 2 more core academic periods after that, science and social studies. And finally, the student ends the day with the electives. This student chose French, orchestra, phys ed, and art. You'll see that orchestra is going to be on odd days for the whole year, while phys ed and art will be semester classes, phys ed for semester 1 and art semester 2.
Thank you for watching. Please join us for the DMS PTO meeting that will be held on Thursday, December 13th at Dorseyville Middle School. There will be a general PTO meeting that night that will begin at 6:30 p.m., and then we will hold a second part of that meeting that will be dedicated specifically to discussing the schedule we have just explained. We will be happy to answer any questions at that time.